Paid traffic, Facebook paid ads. So the overview for Facebook ads is, and the first thing let me just say here is there's lots of places to buy traffic. But unless you are a skilled media buyer, the best place to buy traffic is going to be Facebook, okay? There's a whole bunch of reasons I'm going to give you in a second, but one of the biggest things is once you learn Facebook, it's going to give you an amazing benchmark that you can use as you go source out other types of traffic, and you're going to know all this data from the Facebook ads that you would never have if you had started at a different Facebook or a different ads platform. So going from Facebook to another ads platform is much easier because you have data, and it makes other kinds of advertising easier. Okay, so again, why Facebook? It's huge. Obviously, it's kind of taken over the world right now, right? There is also no minimum buy on the ad system. Okay, you can start with $1, 50 cents, whatever you want. The reality is most ad platforms, most places you go to buy traffic have minimums, and they're usually several $1,000s, upward, sometimes as much as $10,000 minimums to get into an ad platform. So there's no minimum ad buy system. So you can start out with whatever your budget is, and then you can just scale it as you make more money. It also allows for the most advanced targeting and dialing in of your traffic source and like criteria of any platform out there. It gives you complete budget control on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a lifetime budget basis. You can really dial it in based on your budget and how your budget grows. You can even have it set to auto scale your budget at whatever rate you feel comfortable with. The ability to add, edit, and modify your ads on the fly in a very, very easy to use editor is just amazing. And it's affordable. Although it is one of the better traffic platforms out there, the price you're paying per click or per view or per whatever is still very, very affordable. And there's a fairly short learning curve. There's always a learning curve to learning how to use a different platform or things like that, but Facebook ads has a fairly short learning curve. Now, the Facebook pixel, this is the snippet of code that you put on your pages that Facebook learns from. Facebook has a machine learning system that runs all their algorithms. It does billions upon billions of calculations a second. And it is amazing when you combine effective placement of the pixel, which we'll talk about, with good targeting and the Facebook ads machine learning system. It's golden, okay? There is no better platform out there for getting good data and being able to get that to convert into dollars in your pocket out there. There's nothing else out there like it. And this thing is literally getting better every single day. So it's a great platform for you to be dialed into. So some basics. The first thing is the Facebook ad only has one job. Don't try to make it carry the mountain. There's all this stuff you're trying to do in your business. It's not the job of the Facebook ad. Okay? The only job the ad has is to sell the click. Okay? That's it. The only job of the ad is to get in their face and get the person to click on the ad. Once that happens, the ad is done. Okay? It has nothing else to do. At that point, the landing page takes over, and its job is to sell the opt-in or the sale for the beta test. Okay, opt-in for the giveaway or the sale for the beta test. That's it. The landing page does the selling. The ad only sells the click. That's it. So don't try to make your ad do all the heavy lifting for your entire funnel. No, just get the ad to get the click. All right? When it comes to constructing your ads, there's some basics that we want to consider for giveaways and for the beta test. Let's start with the giveaway. So the basic ad construction for a giveaway is to use short teaser copy. Teaser copy, which means not complete. It leaves them wondering. It gets them excited, okay? Teaser short copy with 2-step instructions. Step 1, like the post. Step 2, click here to enter, okay, in the message section. Use an eye-catching giveaway-specific image that is tied specifically to whatever it is you're giving away. If it's a specific item, make sure you're showing a picture of that specific item. If you're doing a collage, show the image of the collage. Use a strong giveaway style call to action in the headline of the ad. And then use a basic description of what's being offered in the link description section, okay? Make sure whatever you type in here is different than what's in the message section up top. And then if you're going to use a button, make it the sign up button or don't use any button at all, okay? We've done testing up the wazoo on this. The sign up button is the only one that converts as compared to no button. And it does typically convert a little bit better than no button. Now, that's the giveaway. Let's go over and look at the beta test ad construction. It's very similar, but there are some differences. So again, you want to use teaser short copy with try or test in the message section, like try out our product or test our new product. You want to use an eye-catching beta test specific image of this product that they get to beta test and call out the name or the words beta test. Say the words beta test and have a strong beta test style call to action in the headline. The headline needs to be a call to action. Also, have a basic description of what's being offered in the link description section. Then it's a good idea also to call out the discount percentage or the discounted price that they're going to get as part of the beta test. The reason you want to do this, and you want to test it both ways, if you don't put it on there, people may think the beta test is free and you get more people to click. Whereas since if you're doing a paid beta test and you want people who are willing to spend money, if you call out the discount percentage or the price, you're letting the people know before they click that there's going to be some money required to change hands in order to participate in the beta test. That will reduce the freebie clickers from even wasting their time clicking on the ad. Some people will still be curious. Others will be like, oh, not spending any money, I'm not clicking. So you're saving yourself the tire kickers just by calling out the price in the ad. And then in terms of a button, the only button that seems to work well with the beta test is the Learn More button. Otherwise, don't use a button at all. These are the basics. Obviously, some niches may vary. And a good thing here, guys, these are rules of thumb. These are not set in stone, okay? These are starting points. As you get into your business, as you get into your own ads, you're going to want to test and try different things. And if you know something works really well in your niche, go ahead and try it. Again, these are guidelines, rules of thumb, things for you to have as starting points, but don't feel like they're set in stone and that you can't modify them. If you don't have any good data behind you, then start here. Don't just go reinvent the wheel just for the sake of reinventing the wheel. Start with what we know works and then modify from there. So here's some examples of the ads. So on the left, you have the giveaway ad example. You can see it follows exactly what we said. It says free kinesiology tape giveaway. So we have a giveaway call out. There's two-step instructions. Step 1, like this post. Step 2, click the image below to enter to win. It has a giveaway specific image that calls out to both the market and it shows the product. So in this case, we're talking about the CrossFit market. Shows the CrossFitter guys in the background and has the picture of the product. And then it also says hot giveaway, free rolls of ape tape every week. The headline, win a free double length roll of ape tape. That's a great call out. And then the description says each week we are giving away free rolls of our new double length ape tape for our customers and fans to try out. And then it has the sign up button below. Okay. Very, very clean, very simple ad. This ad works. If you don't have a good ad that works for you, start here and then modify based on it. Beta test example says try out the new double length ape tape kinesiology tape with our beta test program. So we're saying, hey, try our beta test. The image has the CrossFit, niche affinity look to it, also the product. Then it says be a beta tester for the new double length ape tape. Kinesiology tape beta test. All right. And the Learn More button. We're calling it out right there in their face. Both of these ads have converted very, very well for us. That's why I'm showing them to you. They work. All right. So now that you know how to create your ad creative, now it's time to talk about your ad configuration. Inside the Facebook ad editor, in the Power Editor, you're going to have to set up a bunch of different criteria in order to create your ad. What we're going to go over here is the basic configuration settings, the kind of the default rules of thumb that you want to start with. Okay, this is based on what we know and what we've proven over spending, tens of thousands of dollars a week in Facebook ads. Okay, we spend a ton of money on Facebook ads in our various businesses. Okay, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in Facebook ad spend. This is what works. All right. If you are also spending a lot of money on Facebook ads and you're having good success and you have something else that works, test that as well. But I would highly recommend you test our method against yours to see which one converts better. You can always learn something new, right? So whenever you set up a Facebook ad for giveaways or for beta tests, here's the basic configuration. First, you choose the objective. We want to optimize for conversion, and we're going to use the Facebook pixel to tell Facebook what conversion we're trying to optimize for. So in the case of the giveaway, the conversion event we're going after is a lead. So that's a little snippet of code that you add to your Facebook pixel and paste on your page. There's instructions for how to do this in the Facebook editor. It's very simple. If you're doing a beta test, you want to optimize for the purchase because we're trying to get the goal of the beta test is to get people to buy at the discounted rate. So we want to optimize for that. We want to apply known demographic constraints. What do we know about our niche? If we only want to sell to people in the US, then we want to definitely tighten it down by the location and say just the US. If we only want to sell to people in Germany, then we want to do that. Okay, or if we only want the US and the UK, we want to tighten it down like that. Gender, if you know your product only sells to men, then target only men. However, if you're not sure, then you might want to leave it gender neutral. If you know for a fact there is an age range that only purchases your product, or they have to be over a certain age to purchase your product, then use that as your guide. Otherwise, leave that open as well. And then language, if you're marketing in a specific language that they have to speak in order to participate, then lock in the language demographic as well. For targeting, you want to use niche passion or affinity type interests. Okay, passion interests are, in the like, what are people interested in that like this product? So for the Ape Tape example, these people are into fitness. They love CrossFit. They like Spartan races. They like the Tough Mudder. Okay, those are passion interests and passion affinities. Okay, they're very interested in these things. For people who are interested in spatulas, it might be baking, cupcakes, cooking, different things like that, culinary tools, recipes. These are the type of things you want to target. Or potentially even affinity interests would be brands. So for CrossFit, you got WOD, Workout of the Day. You've got Bands of Steel. You've got Rock Tape. You've got Ape Tape. You've got all these different brands. You've got niche. You've got workout equipment. You've got gyms. You've got CrossFit boxes. These are all affinity interests that you could target based on your target audience and what they find themselves interested in. This type of targeting is what's going to give you and narrow down your audience size to only the type of people you want to see it. Now, in the olden days of Facebook ads, even a year ago, people always thought that the smaller and tighter the audience, the better off you were. We have found that that's not necessarily the case. The best audience size for these initial ads is in the 5 to 15 million range for the potential reach. So once you set in your demographic constraints and you set up your targeting, on the right-hand side, Facebook is going to say what your potential reach is, however many million or hundreds of thousands of people you're potentially going to reach with your targeting. If your audience is too small, if it's less than 5 million, you need to broaden up your targeting, add some more interest, take off one of your demographic constraints. The idea here is to go for the 5 to 15 million person potential reach. The reason we do this is if you target so super small, then you don't have very much room to scale. If your audience size is 60,000 or 100,000, you're going to max out that audience and what you're going to get out of that audience very, very quickly. So by having a larger audience in the 5 to 15 million range, you're going to have a much better opportunity to scale your ads once you find out what's working. The placement. We only run ads on the desktop newsfeed and in the mobile newsfeed. Now, if you do have a desktop newsfeed ad that's very, very successful and working really well, you could test it as a right side ad and see if it performs as well, but for less, okay? But typically, the only ones that perform really, really well on a dependable basis for us for list building and for beta tests is the newsfeed on the desktop and the mobile newsfeed. Now, the budget, okay? People used to say, oh, $5 a day budget is fine. That's not the case, guys. You want to set your budget at 3 to 5 times your estimated conversion value, okay? Now, Facebook will actually estimate this for you now. The tool, Facebook machine learning has gotten smart enough, and you're going to optimize for a conversion, and then you're going to optimize for a lead or either a purchase. Based on your constraints, your data, and everything that Facebook knows about your ad and what you're trying to do, Facebook will estimate what they think each conversion is going to cost you. You want to set your budget at 3 to 5 times that conversion value, okay? And the only reason you wouldn't do this is if you could not afford that range. The reason you want to do this is because the way the Facebook algorithm works and the way the Facebook bidding engine works is, if let's say Facebook estimates that you're going to spend $5 on a beta test conversion, okay, a beta test purchase. So every time you're going to spend $5 to acquire one beta test conversion, and you set your budget at $5 a day, that means Facebook, in Facebook's machine learning eyes and in their algorithm eyes, you're like saying, hey, I only want 1 or less conversions per day. So they're only going to optimize to send you sometimes 0 and sometimes 1 conversion a day. They're never going to send you 3, 4, 5 conversions in a day. So you need to make sure that your budget is set to multiple conversion to cover multiple conversions in a day. And then what's going to happen is, as long as you can, if they estimate 5 and you can spend at least 5 on a conversion, you're going to get those conversions. And then what's going to happen is Facebook is going to continue to optimize your ad based on the performance of your pixel, the traffic, and all the data that it's constantly collecting over every single ad click, every single page pixel fire, every single purchase, every single opt-in. It's continuously refining and updating your specific score for your ad, and your conversion estimate is going to continue to drop. So meaning that your conversion value is going to get better and better and better and better, meaning that your budget now is going to get more and more and more and more conversions for the same budget. Okay? So it's very important that you dial in your budget. The next thing is you want to leave the bidding type on automatic. All right? There's a lot of people talking about doing manual bidding, and we do it too. We always test. But what we found recently is that we cannot beat Facebook's manual bidding. They're still getting better results for us as they continuously optimize the ad than by us bidding a specific amount that we're willing to spend. All right. Now, if you have hard numbers and you cannot spend more than a specific thing, great. Go ahead and try the manual method. But if you're estimating and figuring things out and letting your kind of building as you go, leave it on automatic. Then you also want to optimize the ad delivery for conversions. It can be optimized to show unique views. It can be optimized for impressions. What you want to optimize for is conversions, because that's what we care about. Conversions into leads or conversions into purchases for the beta test. And then the delivery type, leave it on standard so that it spaces your ad out through the day. Anytime you change this, Facebook has a tendency to blow your load, to blow your budget very, very quickly, and you don't get the performance out of it that you should. So leave it spaced throughout the day. Okay, again, these are guidelines. These are the rules of thumb. This is what works for us in our business and for our clients' businesses. If you have something different that you like to do, that's fine. But if what you're doing isn't working, then please dial in on this, okay? And again, this is for your initial ad configuration. Once we run these ads and get some results, now at that point, we're going to take and we're going to dial in even more, and we're going to get to that very specific target audience. So the next steps. The first set of ads using the initial configuration, what we're doing, that's an exploratory ad, okay, or ad set or number of ads that you're running. What we're trying to do is find your ideal Facebook audience. That's why we did the targeting. That's why we had the broad audience, because out of that audience, you're going to run ads and you're going to get people who convert, who either opt in for the giveaway or they purchase the beta test. Those people are your ideal audience, and we want to find more of those people. So the initial goal of your initial ad or set of ads is to get 500 to 1,000 conversions for your specific event. Okay, and to fire means get the pixel to activate. So meaning if you're doing a giveaway campaign, you're looking for 500 to 1,000 lead conversions. And if you're doing a beta test, you're looking for 500 to 1,000 purchase conversions, okay? Now, on the beta test, you could do lead conversions as well, but you're going to get better optimized results over the long run. Maybe not initially, but over the long run, because Facebook continues to learn by optimizing for the purchase, all right? Now, once we have these 1,000 or so conversions, we're going to create a lookalike audience for that specific event, okay? The event would be the conversion, okay? So now that we have, Facebook has collected data on 1,000 different people or 500 different people who have either opted in or purchased. Now we're going to take it and we're going to say, hey, Facebook, take these 1,000 people and find me the other people on Facebook who most closely resemble this person and this demographic of people. Because inside that 1,000 people, there's a lot of commonalities and overlaps. And since Facebook has data, massive amounts of data on each one of these different people who opted in or who purchased your beta test, Facebook can match up very, very effectively other people who match the majority of that same criteria. So a lookalike audience is the Facebook algorithm's best guess as to find you a collection of other people who most closely resemble your ideal audience, i.e. the people who opted in and or who purchased and fired the conversion pixel for you, right? So lookalike audiences can be created with 1% all the way up to 10% of variation of your ideal audience. Okay, now, so if you have a 1% audience, that's people, a lookalike audience of people who have 1 degree or less of variation from the 1,000 people who've taken action on your offer, who've converted. Now, each degree of audience variation only contains people from that specific degree of variation. What I'm saying here is if you build an audience of a 2% lookalike audience, that 2% audience only contains people that match that exact 2% range from the end of the 1% variation to the 2% variation. It does not include the people who are in the 1% variation audience. Why this is important is now you can go and take your lookalikes and you can create 6 or 10, up to anywhere, any number in between there. We say between 6 and 10, depending on your ad account, lookalike audiences, each with 1 degree of separation. So you would have a lookalike audience that's a 1%, a 2%, a 3%, a 4%, a 5%, a 6%, and so on. So ultimately, you could have 10 different lookalike audiences, each separated by 1 degree of separation, okay? The highest likelihood of conversion is going to be the 1%, but the 10% ones are still going to convert pretty good too compared to your other ads. So this is, and each one of these audiences generally, based on our results, they're usually in the 1.5 to 2 million person range, each percentage. So a 1% is about 2 million, a 2% is about 2 million, a 3% is about 2 million, and so on. So that's some pretty good ad set sizes, okay? Now that you have these ads, now it's, or these lookalike audiences, now it's time to start building ads for these specific audiences and really dialing in your ads and getting the massive ROI and really scaling your giveaway and your beta test campaigns. Now that we have the lookalike audiences, we want to create 1 ad per lookalike audience. And the ad we're going to start with is the winning ad, okay, from our initial ad test. So when we're doing our first ads using the initial profile configuration, we're going to create an ad and we're going to run it and we're going to see how it works. And if it's got bad click-through or it's not getting good interaction, we're going to create a different ad. And we're going to keep trying that until we find what works to get us our initial 500 or 1,000 conversions. Then we're going to take that best ad and we're going to run it to this lookalike audience. We're going to start with 1 ad. So we're going to create a new ad, taking the best ad copy that we have, an ad image, and we're going to use the 1% audience and create ads for that audience and start running them. And then we're going to test out different images and text to keep it going and see what works the best. Once you find the winning ad for your lookalike audience, but we're going to start with the best ad group we know we have. Hopefully that will work for the 1%. If it doesn't, we keep testing from there. Okay, but that's our starting point. Once we find a winning ad at the 1% audience, then we're going to duplicate that ad for each of the other lookalike audiences. All right, so once we get the 1% ad converting, we're going to duplicate that ad and assign it to the 2% audience. And then we're going to once that one's working, we're going to duplicate it and convert it to the 3% audience. Eventually, you will have a winning ad running for each of your 10 different lookalike audiences. And this is when the magic happens, okay? This is when it gets really, really awesome. You do want to do this for 1 lookalike audience at a time because the more ads you try to get running and converting at once, the harder it is. So do it 1 at a time, especially if your budget is limited. You want to make sure that you maximize your budget at each different lookalike audience before you try to roll out too many. It's better to have 1 or 2 lookalike audiences running with bigger budgets than all 10 running with really small budgets, okay? You want to continue to scale your budgets by 10% per day as long as your ads are profitable. Okay, so as long as they stay profitable, you want to scale your budgets up by 10% per day so that you can keep getting more and more and more conversions every single day. Facebook has now released a feature that you can automatically set the percentage at which you want to scale your budget. So if you want to do it at 5% or 10% or 20%, you can set that and Facebook will automatically do that for you now. For giveaway campaigns, we are looking for a lead cost in the 50 cents to $1 range. Anything less than 50 cents is amazing. Anything over $1 is too expensive, okay? So 50 cents to $1 range is what we're looking for. For beta tests, profitability depends on your pricing, your margins, and your goals, okay? When we run beta tests, typically we're either trying to launch an Amazon product or we're trying to revive another product or boost a product listing. So we may even go negative and lose a little money on our beta test for 100 units or 1,000 units or whatever it is, or we may even just have a break-even funnel where it's like, hey, we're going to knock the price down 50%, and with everything we're trying to break even on it or make a slight profit. So that's going to depend on your product, your pricing, and your goals, but you can work those numbers out to figure out what your budget's going to be. Next, let's talk about the actual ad configuration and what changes for a lookalike audience. So I've told you how to build the lookalike audience. I've told you what to do with the lookalike audience. Now let's see exactly how to configure the ad, okay? So again, you're going to optimize for conversion. Your conversion event is going to be either the lead if you're doing a giveaway campaign or a purchase if you're doing the beta test campaign. Then you're going to, for targeting, you're going to use a lookalike audience. One lookalike audience per ad. So if we're doing our first ad, it's going to be, the targeting is going to be, we're going to target the 1% lookalike audience, and that's it. The audience size, don't worry about that. That's going to be determined by the size of the lookalike audience. Just let that happen. Placement, again, is desktop newsfeed and mobile newsfeed. The budget stays the same at 3 to 5 times your estimated conversion value. Your estimated conversion value should be cheaper now than what it was on the initial ad test, because we now know who our ideal customer is, and Facebook knows how well our ads convert. The bidding type, leave it on automatic. Optimized ad delivery for conversion still, and this doesn't change. And the delivery type, leave it on standard throughout the day. Okay, so really the only two things that change here are your audience size and your targeting. Okay, and then in terms of location or your demographic constraints, you only want to apply location constraints if you have location constraints. So like if you're only going to ship to the US, or if you don't want to ship to Hawaii because you have a free shipping offer or something like that, whatever. So only apply location constraints if that's important to you. Otherwise, leave it alone and let the audience, lookalike audience, do the work itself. So the key here to profitable Facebook traffic, you've got the ads running, but that's only part of it, okay? Because in order for your ads to be effective, Facebook needs to be able to collect data. And like I said, their algorithm and their machine learning is doing billions of calculations a second, and it's getting better every day. We're learning some amazing things about the Facebook team and from the Facebook team about how their ads are working and how their algorithms things are doing, and the data that they're telling everybody now. It's amazing. It's only going to get better. But your ads will only be as effective as the data you are returning to Facebook via the Facebook pixel on your various funnel pages, okay? So the Facebook pixel is a piece of tracking code that you place on your website pages so that Facebook ad systems can try to show your ads to the best possible prospects. They need to be able to track the conversion, see who's visiting the ads, all of these different things. Facebook's code, if it's on your page, can track all of that. So before you run any ads, you must have your pixel correctly, this is important, it's got to be correctly placed on each page of your funnel. All right, the Facebook pixel can be customized for each specific action a visitor takes on different pages of your site. These are called events, all right? And it's just a little snippet of code that Facebook will give you, and you can just copy it into the generic Facebook code based on the type of action. So if it's a specific page view, which is what you would put on your opt-in page, okay? So you would add the specific page view code to your pixel code and paste that on your Facebook page, or I'm sorry, on your opt-in page. The lead, this is what would go on the thank you page, okay? Because this would tell Facebook that an opt-in happened. Add to cart. Again, this only matters for beta test, but this would be applied when someone adds your beta test product to their cart to check out. And then purchased, obviously only for beta test, this would go on the receipt page after they purchased the beta test. Setting up your giveaway or beta test funnel pages with the correct Facebook pixel and event code is critical, and I mean absolutely 100% critical to your ability to run profitable campaigns. The Facebook bidding system will basically stop serving your ads and stop giving you good conversions, or stop giving you any conversions, and just basically spend your money if it can't get the data. Okay? If it can't get the data, it needs to create good decisions, because the Facebook's goal is to make money for the advertiser, yes, make money for themselves, but also deliver the best possible experience via their ad platform to the consumer using Facebook. So if they can't get the data from you, you're not going to have a very good performing ad set, and the pixel and the placement on your pages is the critical component of that. So an important note, in order to deliver the best possible results, Facebook needs to collect data on the complete funnel path that your visitors and customers go through, even if you are only optimizing for a specific event. So back in the old days of Facebook advertising, if you wanted to track conversions, you would just put the code on the thank you page or the receipt page, and that's all you did. You didn't worry about anything else. Facebook has gotten smarter. Their machine learning is amazing, but in order for it to work at its peak, it needs to be able to track the entire process from every page that the Facebook user who clicks on the ad, and the entire process they go through until they complete the action that you're trying to track. So if you're trying to track a purchase, you still need to track the add to cart. You still need to have code for the lead. You still need to have code for the page view. You need to have code for the entire funnel. The more complete it is, the better Facebook is going to be able to optimize and deliver for you. All right, this is critical. That's why it's on its own slide and it's all blue and green and bold in your face. It's critical, okay? And a lot of people don't do this. So a visual representation of how to place your pixels and which snippet goes where for the different things. So for a giveaway funnel, okay, we're tracking the lead. So we need to have the full funnel path. In this case, the full funnel path is the Facebook ad, which Facebook already takes care of. They click on the ad and then they're taken to your giveaway offer page. On this page, you need to paste the Facebook code or Facebook code, pixel code that contains the view content snippet onto your page. Then the people who opt in are taken to the thank you page. This is a lead. This is where you put the Facebook pixel code that has the lead event snippet included into it, and you paste it on that page. So the only people who will have that code fire is the people who go first to the opt-in page, they opt in, and then they land on that page. So Facebook will know the entire path of that customer. Now, for a beta test funnel, it's a lot more complicated because there's more pages that need to be tracked. So Facebook Pixel needs to go with the view content snippet, needs to go on the offer page, okay? So you take the view content snippet, add it to the pixel code, paste it on the page. You also have a lead because they opt into the beta test. When they land on the registration page, you need to put the lead code there so Facebook knows that a lead conversion happened, even though you're not tracking or optimizing for the lead, all right? It still needs to be there. Then you also have a registration. So Facebook has a complete registration event snippet that needs to go on the instructions page because someone who's hit the instructions page has already completed the registration, okay? So that the next page they go to when they complete the registration is the instruction page. And then you have a product checkout page. So when they go to checkout, that means the product has been added to their cart. So you need to put the add to cart event snippet right on that page. And then after they purchase, you need to put the event snippet on the product receipt or completed checkout page, okay? Whatever page they view after they complete the checkout, that's where the event snippet needs to go. The catch here is that add to cart and purchase only works if you control the store. Okay, if you're on Amazon, you don't control the checkout page or the receipt page, so you can't do this complete funnel path. You can't do the add to cart snippet or the purchase snippet. So in your case, if you're an Amazon seller doing a beta test, you would then optimize for lead or complete the registration. You would do one of the two. I would say you optimize for complete the registration because that's a more qualified person than someone who just opts in, all right? And then you would optimize for that, and Facebook would try to get people who are that person. So this is the complete breakdown, guys, of how Facebook advertising works. Okay, you want to use the Power Editor, and you want to create your audiences, and I'm going to have another video that's going to show you guys how to do those things. But if this was complicated to you, please watch it a few more times to let it really sink in, because Facebook ads have changed a lot in the past few weeks even, and they continue to change. But what I'm showing you here is timeless, and it's going to work. And if you aren't already doing it, you need to start doing it to start getting the best results out of your Facebook advertising.